Hello and welcome to Dialogue. Arriving in Macau to mark the 25th anniversary of Macau's return to the motherland, Chinese President Xi Jinping said that over the past 25 years, the practice of one country, two systems with Macau characteristics has achieved success and is widely recognized by the world, showcasing great vitality and unique charm. How has Macau evolved over the past 25 years? How is the unique city positioning itself for the future? And how has China's one country, two systems policy helped Macau thrive over the past 25 years? Join us for our discussion today from Macau. I'm Xu Qianduo. Well, joining me for that discussion are Wu Xiangning, Associate Professor, Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Macau; Priscilla Roberts, Associate Professor, Faculty of Arts and Humanities, University of St. Joseph, Macau. Welcome to Dialogue. Well, I will start with the changes over the past 25 years. President Xi, in his speech, he called it tremendous progress since its return in 1999. Both of you have been living here for years, and Priscilla, you knew something even much earlier before the handover.
Yes, well, I remember quite vividly before the handover how there were some quite serious public security problems, drive-by shootings of public officials, gangsters running fairly wild in Macau. I also remember how the gambling industry was relatively small, a little bit seedy and down at heel. Someone else who remembers those days, an expert on the casinos, was saying at a talk a few days ago, people would just say, "It ain't Vegas." So the gambling industry is something that has changed. So have the buildings and the actual land area, even of Macau. There's been a lot of reclamation in the past 25 years and a lot of new and fancy buildings, including some of those that I think you can see out of the window behind us, just didn't exist 25 years ago. So it's a very, very different city.
Yeah, some would say that's like sea changes over there. Xiangning, speak of public security. I was here actually during the time of handover in 1999. I was aware of the concern of the local residents, about the public security and of course economic stagnation at that time. So how do you see the changes, over the past several decades?
Well, if I could say, I say the changes in the past 25 years, the changes will be tremendously in each different areas. Public security, economic, political stability, and also the most, if not the most important, actually equally important one is people's confidence to the future. So that is just something we did not see back to the 1990s. So what I want to say is actually Macau already changed or transformed itself from a small, relatively unknown, underdeveloped city, which is actually under the being colonized city, to today's small, quite internationally well-known, and also quite smart, with strong development potentials. So if we could use the word, that will be small and powerful, small and young, small and very healthy and small and beautiful city attract the tourists around the whole world, around China.
Right. And the U.S. magazine Forbes actually recently ranked Macau as one of the richest places in the world in terms of per capita GDP, second only to Luxembourg. That's something for a lot of people probably in 1999, with a wild imagination, you wouldn't have such a guess or expectation.
Yeah, exactly. So if I could say that what make all these things happen, it is because the one country, two system, that is actually full of the wisdom in the past 25 years in experience, just to tell the whole world how successful this one country, two system is, and will be. So I think that is actually quite important.
Yes, Xiangning, go ahead and tell us more about this one country, two systems. What does it mean? What is the one country, two systems for people but not following the development of Macau or Hong Kong? They are not familiar with this. Probably they have no idea what is one country, two systems.
Right, okay. Basically, one country, two system is a political framework proposed by Mr. Deng Xiaoping in the early 1980s to manage the return of Hong Kong and Macau, preserving Macau and Hong Kong's quite unique economic, social, and legal system. So here, one country refers to People's Republic of China as a sovereign state, while Macau as a quite integral part of China. Beijing will take the responsibility of national defense and foreign affairs. For now, the two system mainly refers to Macau maintain and reserve his quite unique legal system, capitalist economic system, and quite unique social lifestyle in 50 years after 1999 handover. So that is actually what we call one country, two system. Under this system, Macau enjoy quite a high degree of autonomy.
Yeah. Priscilla, how do you look at the system? What is the strength, probably institutional strength of such a framework? Because people would say the two systems, it allows some flexibility, the room for Macau to follow its own road, probably, and development.
I think that's true. It's a very flexible system. Exactly how it developed was going to depend very much on circumstances. And I think that the local government of Macau, as well as the central government of China, have been quite far-sighted in identifying areas of opportunity and taking advantage of these. I think it's also been interpreted in such a way that ordinary people in Macau, there is a system of subsidies and welfare which has certainly made the changeover very much more palatable to them. I think that their own welfare and well-being have, if anything, improved over the past 25 years. So I think that's been very important as well.
Well, speak of that, public perception of how this one country, two systems shapes Macau's development. Xiangning, I wonder what's the response from the public in terms of their daily life, the SAR government, and also this one country, two systems, maintaining its own lifestyle and practices, but inside a socialist country.
Yeah, well, it's quite interesting that during the conversation or some kind of talks with local Macau or some tourists to Macau, particularly for the local who've been living here for ages, for years, and also some kind of new immigrants, they are very much satisfied with what they are enjoying now. Well, for example, Macau provides a quite strong and quite improved and mature social welfare system. They have this annual handouts, cash handouts to all the permanent residents.
People like that.
Oh, wow, it's kind of, there is a safety net there. So you are confident to what you are planning to and what you are trying to do. So you dare to pursue for the future. So that is as I just said, that's a confidence in the future and a confidence in their development. So this is related to their daily life. While economically, we can see, as you just mentioned, that Macau's, either in terms of overall GDP development or per capita, Macau's, either for the Macau's residents or people who are observed Macau's economic development, we just have to agree, this is just a miracle, Macau economic miracle. So they are very much satisfied with Macau's economic development. Politically, as Priscilla just mentioned, that Well, back to the 1990s, people were so concerned about public security. But in the last 25 years, the whole Macau society enjoy and we actually experienced social stability and political stability, which is quite significant for the overall development of the city and of the country. So I think that is actually how people feel and respond to what they are experiencing each different day. And also they connect it to the world, from a local city to an international city.
Yeah. There's a sea change, you know.
Yeah.
You mentioned about, of course, stability, politically, economically, because that's the premise of any development, any expansion of, you know, later on we'll touch upon the diversification for the economy, for example. And the President Xi, in his speech this morning, actually, he emphasized this. The idea is interesting to notice that, you know, one country, two systems. If you think hard about that, you know, two systems, that means basically different systems getting along with each other, right?
Yeah.
Means harmony, means peaceful coexistence of different practices, and also means kind of coordination or cooperation for a win-win, you know, result. Of course, Macau will win from such a practice. The motherland will also profit, let's say, win from such a practice. You know, he even stresses the values of this inclusiveness, this openness, and of course, this practice of the one country, two systems itself is, if you look at that, you know, the situation, 25 years, and we have another 25 years according to the documents. So it's significant in terms of its success and how we managed to do it in a, I would say, a perfect way, basically, in both has benefits from the success of Macau.
Well, I have to say that for just to give you quite an interesting way to make this observation. For example, we cross border either from Gongbei or Hengqin. So if you cross border, you might feel or experience this peaceful coexistence or harmonious coexistence just in person. For example, cross border, you're from Zhuhai to Macau in just a walking distance. There's no conflict, no clash. People just get used to from this socialist market economy to capitalist economy, and from this different legal system, different administrative system, and a different regulatory system. People just get used to it. And there's people's, as Priscilla just mentioned, quite open mindset. So for both sides, they enjoy this peaceful coexistence. The second what I want to mention is that, for example, for the as we just talked about what remarkable achievement Macau has made. One thing I want to mention is actually Macau's high. For example, the university, the numbers of universities already also increased tremendously. Either for the University of Macau or the other universities, they have the campus in Zhuhai. So this is also quite a model or quite good an example for this peaceful coexistence of this two systems. So I guess that is actually how people feel and experienced in every day.
We know that the SER government is trying to diversify its economy under the strategy of so-called 1+4, basically to reduce the dependence on the gaming industry and then develop the economy in other sectors, including, for example, high-tech sector, health sector, and then financial services and hospitality sector. I actually talked to a founder of a high-tech company called Nanometals Technology. Let's take a look.
10万亿，10万亿根的银线就在这样小小的一瓶的液体里。
Macau's physical transformation mirrors its economic evolution. Through planning and land reclamation, the city has expanded from some 21 square kilometers in 1999 to more than 33 square kilometers today. Not only that, in 2021, the 106 square kilometer Hengqin Island was officially established as the Guangdong-Macau In-Depth Cooperation Zone. This further expands Macau's development space, creating more opportunities for innovation and growth. Among Macau's entrepreneurs, Lei Jian has seized the opportunity to build a factory for his company Nanometals Technology in the Greater Bay Area.
纳金专注纳米金属前沿新材料的研发和产业应用。纳米银线是我们最核心的一个基础材料之一。大约相当于人头发丝的1/1000，非常的细小。像这样，100毫升里面大概含的总的含银量只有1克，但这1克银呢是分散成银线是大概10万亿根，10万亿根的银线就在这样小小的一瓶的液体里。比如这样的一张膜片，那就是使用了我们的纳米银线的材料制备的纳米银透明触控显示一体化的膜片。
这个
触控显示一体化的模组，对，它是一个圆筒空调柜机上面所见所触即所得，您根据您的需要
就是直接按就可以了哈，
就可以实现触控。未来人工智能时代，各种智能终端的普及率越来越多各种触控传感的需求越来越多因此纳米银线是一个面向未来智能时代的重要的基石材料。纳金拥有纳米银线中国最早的发明专利，并且率先产业化，也打破了国外的垄断。
And it's not just the nanometer silverware. Over the past decades, China has broken foreign technology monopolies and realized domestic independent production of more and more core raw materials. The country has moved up 11th place in the rankings of the world's most innovative economies and is home to 26 of the world's top 100 sci-tech innovation clusters, according to the World Intellectual Property Organization's Global Innovation Index 2024.
这个我个人是深有感触。那这些年从国家的重视到各级政府到企业到各界人士的关心，大家共同的努力中国自主产权核心材料的企业越来越多。大约20年前我做供应链的时候，我们的很多供应商好的都依赖进口。我们看到那时候内地的很多企业就像一个作坊，但是今天我想斗转星移，很多我们觉得以前是作坊的小公司，今天都成长成为了上市公司，行业龙头。
Macau has set a plan for the diversified development of 1+4 industries, one of which is the high-tech industry. Referring to Macau, many people may have the impression that it is a well-known tourist city, but now sci-tech innovation is gradually becoming a new characteristic of this old city.
科技的发展最核心的需要人才的投入和资金的投入，这2项正好都是澳门所具备的它可以汇聚国内国外的人才，它有着充沛的资金，同时呢，充分发挥澳门国际化平台、国际化大都市的地位，发挥澳门葡语系国家的这个优势，发挥横琴连通广东制造业基础和供应链完善、产业链配套等各方面要素，这些因素都可以更好地促进澳门科技产业的发展，也能够帮助澳门更好地融入国家发展大局。所以我们坚定地相信，背靠祖国，连通世界，澳门的明天一定会更加的美好。
All right, obviously that shows that some of the companies already have a foot in Hengqin Island. We mentioned Hengqin is a neighboring island. Now we have Hengqin Macau development, or they call it in-depth cooperation zone. So diversification is still the original purpose, as mentioned by the president, that we should not forget the purpose, like why we are having Hengqin. So Priscilla, Hengqin, what does Hengqin mean to Macau's future development?
Well, to begin with, it gives Macau an awful lot more space. Macau is a very small territory with one of the highest densities of population in the world. I think it's running neck and neck, possibly, with Monaco. Despite all the best efforts with reclamation and development going upwards, there's a limit to just what can be done in Macau itself, and I think it's actually quite symbolic of this, that when 10 years ago a new campus was opened for the University of Macau. It's actually formerly on Hengqin Island, though at the moment crossing from the university over the canal to Hengqin isn't possible. So, all other things apart, Hengqin is fairly empty compared to Macau, and so a lot of more additional development for Macau can literally spill over into Hengqin. I know that now the area that is very close to Macau in Hengqin, in fact some of the tower blocks you can see out at the back are actually in Hengqin, and I can look out from my flat in Taipei in the evenings and see them just 200 or 300 yards away. So that's a real synergy. One is lots of people and not much space, and the other is a lot of space and not so many people. So this is really, as you said, a win-win situation, or should be, and can be used for diversifying in a number of areas. In education, which I said I thought that education, particularly higher education, is a growth industry. In technology, in terms of business incubators. I worked in the Faculty of Business for a while at CityU here, and they did a big competition for the Portuguese-speaking countries on business plans, entrepreneurship, and the winners were taken, among other things, to the incubator facilities in Hong Kong, and they all decided they wanted to go there rather than to Macau. Now, I think that what you really want to do is have facilities in Hengqin, incubator facilities, that can rival those in Hong Kong. And I just don't think there would be the space for that in Macau as it is today.
So that's, I mean, explained very well about this importance of having Hengqin for the future development of Macau. And of course, the integration of Hengqin and Macau is part of the Greater Bay Area that also includes the 9 cities from Guangdong, like Shenzhen, and also along with Hong Kong, Macau there. So what has this being part of the Great Bay Area mean to Macau? Opportunities, and what other challenges look ahead, Xiangning?
That is actually quite a good question. For Macau, being part of this Great Bay Area means that further connected through this Great Bay area to the whole world. For example, Macau now already been this China-Portuguese quite important platform for China-Portuguese countries, for example, trade, service, and commercial. And Macau's position also being a center for world center of tourism and leisure, and also being quite a significant base for an exchange and cooperation with China's culture. So all of this development direction or development goals require Macau to be part of or being integrated in Greater Bay areas, because which means that Macau has a much broader market and can take advantage of various different utilities, facilities, and also infrastructures that will make Macau a hub or quite a strong development center, for being as, for example, the logistic and being the connectivity centers to the whole world. As Priscilla just mentioned, that Macau lacks talent. It's quite small, only 33 kilometers. Hengqin has actually much 100
like 3 times.
106.
That of Macau.
So just to think about how big a Great Bay Area. So which means that not only through this Great Bay Area connected to the world, but also integrate Macau into a quite a large area, which is full of economic development dynamics. So that is quite important for Macau's future, economic future.
You mentioned about Macau's role as a platform, basically connecting the China market and the Portuguese-speaking countries. We see facilities also already there to enhance that kind of a role. How do you look at that? Such a. Of course, it also increases the visibility of Macau internationally, right?
Exactly. Actually, I give you two numbers. For example, Macau not only take advantage or play quite a pivotal role in terms of China Portuguese-speaking countries trade and commercial and trade platform, but also being quite a significant part of BRI. So basically, I give you numbers. This exports and imports volume through this China Portuguese countries are already around over 200 million. So that is actually 200 million US dollars. That is numbers or times compared with 2003 when this platform was just established. And this trade and exports and imports trade volume through BRI also over 30 billion US dollars. So which means that Macau spare no effort to take advantage of all the favorite policies that have been given by the central government and positioned itself into the whole general broad picture. So that is actually what I want to add up.
Yes. Well, if you look at the further development and also the future of Macau, Priscilla, of course, it's really about the younger generation, the next generation. Now they have, frankly speaking, concerns of the young people say they have further studies overseas with STEM major, for example. When they come back, you see there's a mismatch in terms of the jobs available for them and the jobs they would like to take, right? So how do you look at that? We know that we need to cultivate more local talents, and also we need to be open-minded to welcome talents from around the world. How do you do that?
It depends quite a bit on exactly what kind of jobs the people who come back are looking for. If they're jobs in finance, it seems that Macau is certainly expanding its financial footprint and the financial services that it's offering. Again, if it's in education, there are, with an expanding educational system, both here and in the Hengqian campuses, then there should certainly be more jobs for people. If it's in the IT sector, again, that is one of the areas that is rapidly expanding. And of course, MUST in particular has made great strides in the areas of science and technology, particularly space technology. And I was very interested to see that this was one of the places that President Xi visited, I think just yesterday, to meet with the students, many of whom are actually from mainland China, not necessarily from Macau, and to encourage them to broaden their horizons by coming here and then possibly going on elsewhere or staying in Macau. So I think that the opportunities are expanding at present.
Well, on that note, we are coming to the end of today's discussion. Many thanks to our guests. You can also watch us on the CGTN app on YouTube. I'm Xu Qinduo. Thanks for being with us. See you next time.